why it is one of the safest and the fastest growing business models in India, what to look for in the right franchise opportunity, and we'll also take some few examples of profitable franchise brands across industries like food, retail, education, and more. Whether you are an aspiring entrepreneur, a working professional looking for passive income, or business owners wanting to expand into new vertical, this session is designed just for you. We'll share insider tips on how to minimize risk and maximize return, evaluate franchise agreements, and with confidence. Hi, my name is Bharat, and I'm joined with Managing Director Sonia Chaudhary, Franchise India Managing Director. We have Harmandeep Singh, is the business head from Chandigarh, and we have Deepak Renda, he's the business head from New Delhi. Apart from that, we also have Rahul Sharma, the Vice President Sales from Franchise India. By end of this session, you will not only have the clarity on how to start your franchise business, but also this will help you gaining access to curated franchise options that suits your investment range and location. Absolutely free to ask questions in case if you would have any. You have two options there in the on your mobile in case if you've joined through the mobile. You have Q&A and the chat box. My request is to please use Q&A option to put all your queries, and we will take them up once the presentation is over. Now, I would request Sonia ma'am to please take the lead and let's get started.
Friends, thank you, Bharat. Friends, a very good morning to all of you. I thank you all for coming on today's session. This will be a 30-minute session where we will take you through some of the important assessment tools which are required for starting a business. And so I'll give you a little perspective on the 30 minutes. So we'll talk about the assessment tools. I've also brought in Rahul. So he's part of our team who's leading some of the international master franchisees, which Franchise India has taken rights for India, subcontinent, and some other markets, including GCG. So the 5 brands that we'll talk about today includes Begelstein, we have Frank's, we have Crispy Gravy Chicken, we have Frank's Hot Dog, and we have 7 Fries. So these are 5 opportunities where we have master franchise for certain markets, area franchise for certain markets, and also unit franchise opportunities which can be considered. I'll request all of you friends to make this session interactive. So I'll take maybe 15 minutes to take you through some of the important criteria for somebody who wants to start a business. I'll request all of you to make this session also interactive. And before I jump on the assessment tools, I'll also give you a little background about our company, Franchise India. And I'm sure a lot of you have known us for many, many years. Some of you might also be attending our webinars and the events that we continue to do every single month. So at Franchise India, we've been in the business for the last 27 years, and with one prime motive that we have been really, and that's been the purpose of our business, that we have been democratizing entrepreneurship, where we wanted to make entrepreneurship inclusive for every single entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur who wants to start a business. And we also understand that today a business buyer needs a lot of insights. He does not need product information, because buying a business is one of the most difficult and one of the most important decisions that one takes in a lifetime. And therefore, it requires a thorough research, understanding on various nuances, which can make your business successful or fail. So it is important that you invest in a business that you've known enough, studied enough. And this was the ground for us to come out with the Investor Advantage series, wherein how an investor can be an advantage of taking a responsible and informed decision of starting a business. So if you look at the different ways people start a business, there are only 3 ways one can do that. One is your own startup. A lot of people do that. That's a small startup people can run by themselves. And India being a startup nation today, we have lakhs and lakhs of small enterprise which get registered every single year. The second is buying existing business, which is resale. So you can buy something which is already existing, somebody's running that business, and you can buy that business. And third is buying a name which is tried, tested model, which is what we call franchising. So at Franchise India, we work with businesses which are resale businesses, existing running profitable businesses which you can acquire and buy. And second is buying a franchisee of maybe a local brand, national brand, international companies, depending on your appetite, depending on your entrepreneurial goals, your financial goals. So we also understand that having a mentor is very, very valuable in your business buying decision because advisor brings in a lot of industry experience, we bring in insights, we bring in a lot of alignment of interest, which creates a balance between you as a potential entrepreneur, a business buyer, or a franchisee, and the company, the franchisor. But at the same time, we also realize that when you come across a lot of opportunities, it is very difficult and very challenging to determine where to get started. So we advise you to assess the viability of your business model and outline strategies and timelines for your path to start a business. So, like I said, at Franchise India, we've been operating the last 27 years. We work in 97 cities in India and 15 international markets. And happy to share with the love that we have got in these 27 years from the companies that we work with. And more importantly, I would say our strength has been the biggest investor community that works with us very, very closely. We hold about 90% market share. And at the group level, all our group companies, they create a lot of intelligence synergies, and the combined strength of the group is leveraged by each of our companies. So we have a big interest in franchising, licensing, real estate, mid-market and M&A, and also market entries. The last 2 odd decades, we've been instrumental in bringing more than 750 companies to India market and also the subcontinent. But what has remained always important with us is we've been an investor-centric and a franchise-focused company. And also we've been looking at a lot of trends, which are mega trends in international markets. And our team at Franchise India and our international team, which is Fran Global team, continuously reaches out to such companies and concepts which are relevant for the Indian market. And this year also, the last financial year, we introduced about 50 international brands to the Indian market. Some of these are already operating in India, very, very prominent. We have started creating clusters in markets. So I'll let Rahul talk about that. But coming back to the 5 assessment tools, I'll give you a quick snapshot on that because we understand somebody who's starting a business for the very first time, and especially for the first time business buyers, there are a lot of questions which are there, which needs a lot of clarification. Starting a business, sometimes it looks like is an easy thing. You look at opportunities, you finalize one of them. But the most difficult part is building a successful business model, which is the biggest challenge most of the entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs face in this time. So successful investing, I would say, is not just about luck, you get a good brand or a business, but most importantly, it is about clarity, it is about alignment, it is also about preparation to get into a business. And a sustainable business model is one that reflects your own values, it leverages your strength, and also contributes meaningful to your community that you're servicing and your life. So, why many people fail to start or succeed is, especially in businesses, is where you get a wrong location. It can be a wrong industry. It could be a brand fitment based on your values. It could be unrealistic expectations from the business on the brand that you've signed with, and also lack of risk management. So these are top 3 reasons a lot of businesses start, but they fail to be successful. So we created a holistic structure around selecting a business opportunity. And there are 5 assessment tools that we figured out are most important, which are the foundation for any entrepreneur to start a business, so which includes your own self-assessment. Second is the market assessment, the market that you want to start the businesses. Third is the industry that you want to get in. Fourth is, I would say, the competition, the peer assessment. And finally comes the assessment of the brand that you have selected. So self-assessment, I would say, is first and foremost step, even before you jump into selecting opportunities, going and discovering opportunities. This is the foundation of your first step of getting into selecting an opportunity. And your own business is I personally feel that the business is only as strong as your own clarity is. And self-assessment is the most valuable tool for any aspiring entrepreneur. Be very honest with yourself, define your strength, define your weaknesses. And some of the key aspects include business knowledge, your experience that you carry, and not necessarily the industry experience, but some businesses, some industries also require some relevant experience in the industry, your investment appetite, your financial ability to invest in the business, the time commitment that you put in the business, and delegation of some responsibilities. Now, delegation is important when you look at a bigger opportunity or you take area franchise, a bigger opportunity where you also have a dual responsibility of not only running and operating your own single outlet, but also expanding your territory, distributing your product, and also participating in day-to-day performance of your subunits which come under you. So entrepreneurial mindset, I would say, is very, very important, where you align your life goals, you align your business goals. What entrepreneurship means to you is something that needs to be defining. What problem you're solving from the opportunity that you have selected is something that needs to be understood. And what value you're creating from the opportunity that you're selecting is another important dimension. So some of the most important pillars when it comes to your own self-assessment is re-engineering, I would say, which is your inner re-engineering, which is very essential. And successful business is not just about return on investment, but what you and what values you are building in a business, how you sustain the business, and what problem you're solving. So three things, which is a team that you depute, the resources that you have, and the financials of the business model and the overall business model. Second, you also have to define your financial goals. And here I say use the TRR rule, which is the time, risk, and return, right? So invest within your means. The TRR rule basically would mean that what risk and return are you expecting from the business, and the timeline to achieve the financial goal is something which has to be extremely clear in your minds. So investing should be a way to enhance your income, and it should not supplement it, right? You should be able to enhance your income. It should not be just a supplement to that. And different asset classes, if you look at any investment that you do, and there are different asset classes that you make your investments in, they can fundamentally be categorized into three goals, which is safety, second is income, and third is growth. So when you're looking at any investment, and same goes also for investment in active businesses like franchising, if you're looking at something which is safe, it also tells you looking at something which is giving you less returns because it has less risk involved. Income centric investment and business opportunities would come with some kind of moderate risk and moderate returns. But growth centric opportunities can have some amount of risk, but they are also equally very, very rewarding. The third area is doing your capital planning. We suggest that you ensure at least 6 months of your runway, which is working capital. Important to understand how you fund your business, which means that what is the ratio of debt and equity, which needs very careful planning. The rule that we advise investors to follow is a 50-50 rule, which means that if you have an investment that you want to put in a business, bring minimum of 50% equity in the business, and 50% can be a debt or a soft loan that you want to take. But if your investment is less, if the overall capital allocation that you've kept aside for starting a business is anything, I would say less than 40 lakh rupees, we suggest 20% is the equity that you should bring in the business, and 30% is the debt that you should bring to the business. Because the biggest reason why businesses fail is a lack of financial mismanagement. Second is your industry assessment. How do you choose your industry? So here you need to look at a lot of trends in the industry, look at the past performance, and look at the life cycle of the business, right? So when I say the life cycle of the business, every business, even when you look at the industry, there are different categories, subcategories, different sectors in the industry, and the life cycle of these businesses are very, very different. You know, how a K-12 a life cycle is to maybe opening a small chai shop or a small business like a salon or maybe an F&B outlet is very, very different. So the life cycle of the businesses have to be clearly understood, because the life cycle of the businesses also define the return on the investment, because the return on the investment is proportionate to the life horizon of that opportunity. Second area is the future fitment of the business, which means the long-term relevance of the business. Is the business going to be relevant in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? Because the investment is also meaning that we are dealing with the future and anticipating future developments of how the industry would look like. So the future growth prospects, the overall addressable market of that opportunity overall and in your market is something which is very important to be understood. Then we also understand the market assessment, which is the go-to-market strategy, and which has to come with a lot of data intelligence. And I personally feel there is no bad industry, only untapped opportunities, right? So assess the market fitment and entry potential. The focus areas, when you look at market assessment, is the overall customer behavior in the market. Understand the need gap. When I say need gap, there might be some opportunities or some categories already operating in your market. Maybe there's a salon that you want to open, then multiple salons which are operating in your market. But when you do a need gap analysis, you will understand the difference in terms of the demand, which is the customer demand, and the gap which can be serviced. Now, this gap can be in terms of services, it can be in terms of the product, it can be in terms of the overall experience of the brand, which the current players are not able to offer to the customers. And then comes your regulatory landscape, which is your licenses, your compliances, which are required. And regulatory landscape is something which is a state subject and also a center subject. And these can be for F&B, it can be drug license that you need for opening a pharmacy shop. It can be licenses like a liquor license that you need to operate for opening maybe a lounge or a bar, and also restaurants. So what your state guidelines talk about these regulatory landscapes are very critical to be understood. And finally comes the real estate, which is the cost of the real estate. And most important, what is the strategy for choosing a location? The thumb rule at Franchise India that we suggest our investors is looking at the micro market competition. So when I say the micro market competition, you need to look at some of the top players in your market and some of the important prime locations. Your competition is already present in the market and operating their business. Now, out of all the locations the competition is present, you need to go and filter to understand which are the top 3 or 4 spots where the competition is doing the highest throughput. Their performance is at peak. So if you open next to them, your possibility or probability of being successful in that location is comparatively very, very high. And then comes your competition assessment. Here you need to assess the advantage over the other players in the market, the penetration of the brand, how the brand has been performing overall, and any barrier to entry. Now, the barrier to entry are basically the obstacles, or I would say hindrances, that makes it difficult for a new company to enter a given market. And these entry barriers can be your government regulations, these can be licensing requirements, these can also be technology challenges, which are very important to be considered. And finally comes the assessment of the brand that you have selected. I always maintain that not all franchisors are same. So you need to have a very deep research and get to know everything about the opportunity, about the franchisor that you have selected, which also includes a lot of things, which can include things like how long the business has been operating, what is the average success rate of their franchise partners. And sometimes it is very difficult when the business is new, right? So we have a lot of new companies which are getting into franchising. These might be mature companies which were earlier operating on a company operated model. So today companies like Reliance, they're getting into franchise footprint. Earlier, many of their brands were only operated and owned by the company, but all their formats, even the acquisitions which the company has done, they're actively looking at a franchise network to expand their footprint. So what is the average success rate? It can be a combination of their own outlets, can be a combination of their franchisees. And if the companies have been franchising for a longer duration, how long the franchisees stay on an average in the system is very important to be understood. If you have, for example, a 35 to 40% churn, which is still okay. But if your churn is above 50% or more, it can be a sign of concern. So what you need to understand when you look at a company is the credibility of the business, the people who are behind the business, the commitment of the brand towards the community it is servicing, and equally to their franchise partners. Second is how their systems are standardized. Sustainability of the business is very, very important because operational efficiency is very important when the companies start scaling up. They need to be more and more process oriented, because when the company is more process oriented, it reduces deviations. It is easy to replicate the business. And more importantly, I would say it perfects the customer services, which helps you to bring and retain your existing customers. Your repeat rate is very high. And third is your operating cost in the business. When I say operating cost, most of the investors, when I meet with them, I speak to them and I see them negotiating with the companies, I see them largely they would negotiate and try to work around the franchise fees, the margins, or the royalties. But very rarely I would see an investor trying to understand the operating cost in the business, which is a combination of many things, from your rental, from your operating cost of your salaries, the cost of your goods. In food, it can be food cost. If you're running a retail business, it is the overall margins that you get in the business. So all these operating cost unit dynamics are very, very critical to be understood when you look into a business. And every year, these operating costs also escalate. There's natural inflation which happens every single year. So how the throughput of your business, the efficiencies of your business are maintained in sync with the increasing operating costs are also equally important to be considered. And when I talk about operating cost, it's also seasons. So when you have some peak season in businesses, especially in retail businesses, you also have to put a lot of inventory when the peak season is high. And in certain cases, the companies also support their franchisees where they put additional inventory. They sometimes may not charge you and they put additional inventory in the business, but certain businesses might require you to load the business during these peak seasons. So, these are very detailed dynamics which you need to understand when you speak to these companies and negotiate to understand the business model. And then comes the overall, I would say, margins in the business, which is also very different, not only industry to industry, but I would say it is very different even from one category or one sector to the other. Even a industry like retail would not have same margins across all the subsectors. So jewelry would have different margins, and even in jewelry, your diamond and gold margins are very, very different. So when you do a comparison on margins, you need to do an apple to apple comparison of the margins. In certain cases, the value of the product is high. So in case of jewelry business, while the margins look very small, but the value is very, very big, which gives enough room for a franchise partner to make money. And there are some businesses where the overall volume is very, very important. And that is true for businesses like a grocery store or a supermarket, where your margins are small, but the overall volume of the business has to be very, very big. So if you open in a neighborhood which does not give you enough volume, your business is likely to fail. And then comes your legal aspect. When I say legal, these are legal agreements and conflict resolution which the companies offer. So in India, we don't have any laws on franchising. So everything which is put in the contract becomes a binding for a franchise partner and the company. So we run on a British contract, and there are 25 important clauses which are to be considered when you sign a contract with the company. So at Franchise India, we have a separate department which is called Fran Legal, which also works with investor to help them sign the agreement and take you through the entire negotiation process. So what we do, we follow a three-stage advisory, which is stage one, I would say, is the exploration, which is the information stage, where we help you to understand your own fitment of the opportunities should be right for you. We learn about opportunities which are aligned with your strength and your goals, and there are four primary fits that we take into consideration, based on which our teams advise you on different opportunities. And these four primary fits include, first and foremost, your own strategic fit, which is your experience, your education, alignment to the business you want to select. Second is the operational fitment of the time that you bring in the business. Third is the market fitment, and this is a combination of two, which means the rollout of the company in a particular market, and most importantly, what kind of businesses would run efficiently in the micro market where you want to run. And then comes the financial fitment, which is the overall investment that you want to put in the business, which is a combination of the initial investment and also the working capital that you bring to the business. So these are four primary fitments. So our team would evaluate these four fitments and then take you to stage two, where we do a lot of explanation, drive a lot of deep insights into the selected opportunities. We undertake discovery days and a lot of in-depth brand sessions, which includes tours at the center of the company or the outlets of the brand, meeting with the management decision makers of the company. And then comes the final stage, which is a stage of customization, personalization, where we also work with you to customize, structure the deal, including the location, the territory planning in case you're taking area franchisee, and finally help you onboard, which is strategic onboarding, where end to end, from information stage to valuation of these opportunities to structuring of the deal, our teams are aligned with you on every step of the way. Now, the typical time frame which any investor needs to sign up an opportunity is anything, and that's what we have seen in our experience of 27 years, is anything from 30 to 90 days is the average. But irrespective of the time frame, we don't bypass any single stage. So we spend enough time at each of these stages so that a lot of analysis, insights, information is shared with every single investor so that they can take an informed decision to start a business. So friends, this is what I wanted to share. I'll let Rahul quickly bring in some of the opportunities, which are master franchise opportunities in F&B that we want to share with you. We'll also share our hotline number, our email ID. You can get in touch with us. Like I said, our teams are running operations in about 97 cities in India. If you want to book a session with any of our advisors, you can reach out to us and they'll be happy to meet with you. And we'll be happy to also invite you to our offices So I'll let Bharat share a hotline number and email ID, and Rahul will take you through a small presentation. We'll take 10 more minutes to take you through that. And he will also leave his contact details and email ID. You can reach out to him. Rahul also has his teams across India. So if you want to meet any one of the team members for any particular opportunity which he's showcasing, do let us know. Over to you, Rahul.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. So, guys, the first brand which we want to discuss is about the bagel stain. So, because of the time constraint, I want to just give the little bit background, and we can discuss more in deep down how the things are work. So, guys, if you're taking any of these five brand, the most important part is this the support system. So, we will take care of the location part. We will take care of the supply chain. Even we can also take care of your the project management. If you does not have your team, so we can take care of the project part. Also, along with that, the marketing support. So, because when you're taking any brand, there's a two type of marketing involved. The first marketing is always says the national marketing on the launch activity that is taken care by us. The local store marketing, whatever the support is required, that will be supported by us in terms of the creative, in terms of the jingle, and we can give you the strategic support. How do the local marketing? The first brand I will say the bagel stand. If someone would talk about the bagel chain, it's basically a bagels and coffee brand from the France. It's running more than 120 store worldwide. In India, based because of the franchise India, they entered into the Indian market. So we are the master franchisee, not for Indian market, but for also the Southeast. Now, what the development we did? The most important, we are coming on the 29 location, out of which 18 are the airport, which is owned by the TFS. We have already live over the first store in Indian market, which is called as a Nexus Mall in Hyderabad. You can go and taste the product. I can give you one assurance and one quality. If you take about our product, it's one of the most important freshly prepared bagels. And the beauty is that we have eight different types of bagel, veg and non-veg, both options are available. In terms of the investment, I can say 40 to 50 lakh rupees is the investment which is coming. 35 to 40 lakh rupees for the takeaway model, where the area size will be coming around 300 to 500 square feet, and the location which can be work on malls, IT hub, colleges, university. Then someone would say, okay, I want to open on the high street, or I want to open on the particular shop in the mall. Then it is called as the cafe model, where the area requirement will be 800 to 1000 square feet. And the investment which is coming around 48 to 50 lakh rupees. If I want to give you the little bit breakup, this investment is a fixed investment, I would say no, because it's a variable depending upon the shop, depending upon the area, the investment would vary up and down. But the franchisee fees, which play very important role, it's a fixed component, and the royalty which we are charging is 7%. They're already running 120 store in India. We are opening two store in Delhi NCR, one store in Pune, one in Mumbai, coming in Bangalore, already live in Hyderabad, coming in Kolkata. So if you see in next 3 months, we will open across all the part of the country. As man said, Suryaman said, you have an opportunity to take the area developer rights because of franchise India is developing. So we have an area developer available for some selected territories. So the territory which are not available, AP, Telangana, Bangalore, Maharashtra, Delhi, NCR, the territory rights are not available. Someone would say, I want to take the Kolkata or the West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, or someone would say, I want to develop the complete Gujarat or Rajasthan. So we are with you who can help you in terms of development of the region. For the territory rights, or we can say as an area developer, the prices are a little bit different, but there will be different support system. So you can get some revenue share in the franchisee fees and some in the royalty part. So we can discuss in detail about the area developer rights. In terms of the unit franchisee, the investment would come around 40 to 50 lakh rupees. But can I go to the second brand?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So screen visible?
Visible. Yeah.
Now, guys, again, I'm coming to the second brand, which is called as the Crispy for Gravy or Gravy for Crispy Chicken, I can say. It's basically a South Korean brand running more than 150 stores worldwide. If you go to South Korea, Singapore, Philippines, Mongolia, so that brand is available. It's just like the KFC, where they have a varieties of chicken. Juicy chicken is there. Then they have a bucket system. And Indian market, we are looking the franchisee partner who can work with us. Again, in this brand, we are taking care of the complete support from the location, hiring, training, supply chain, the marketing support, operational support. even in terms of the customization of menu. If someone would say, okay, I want to start something in gravy for gravy chicken, especially just like the KFC, this is the right option for you. And the investment for this particular brand will come 60 to 80 lakh rupees. That also include the franchisee fees of 15 lakh rupees. And then there will be a royalty, which we are charging 8% on a monthly sale. So if someone wants to become my franchisee partner, the important feature is coming as a tenure. So we have a 5 year is a tenure in the franchisee fees. Now, in terms of the area developer rights, so we have a various options are available for an area developer rights. Someone would say, okay, I want to take the Mumbai, Delhi, NCR, or someone would say, okay, I want to take the particular South region for this brand. So such options are also available. If you are becoming my area developer or a territory partner, being a franchise India is the master franchise. They are also helping you in development of your region. So we are more focused on the strategic partner who can work with us, who can develop the territory, but whatever the support is required in terms of the lead generation, the marketing support, the visualization of the brand, that will be supported by the franchise India. So if I want to say, okay, I want to start something in non-veg brand and it's a cafe brand where the area will be and 500, say maybe a 1500 square feet, and I want to start something in a chicken concept, and the best option is called as the gravy for crispy chicken. Now the third brand I want to go with the Frank hot dog. So guys, this is again a France-based company, and I want to say only brand in the market which is available on a hot dog concept. You can go into the market, you see there's only brand in a where you can choose your own bread, you can choose your own sauces is the Subway. Same is the Frank hot dog. It's again is a France-based company. So the this brand started in 2021 from France, running more than 100 stores in worldwide. In India, the last year they entered, and thanks to Franchise India, who is developing this brand as a master franchisee, not in Indian market, also in the international market. So if I want to give you the thought process ki where these brands are available, where you can taste the product. If someone would know the Hyderabad airport, the domestic at the arrival, we are open up our first store in Hyderabad, which is in Hyderabad airport. If you go to Bangalore, we have already live 4 store in Bangalore. The first store is live in the Phoenix Mall, Mall of Asia, then Orion Mall, Shanti Niketan, and the Bharti Janta Mall. We are also coming in Chennai. Even in Pune, we have already live in Elpora Mall. We are coming in Phoenix Group of Elpora. Then in Surat, we have already live. In Delhi, we are coming with 3 stores. One is coming in Cyber Hub. Second is coming in the Allen Miracle 84. And then there is the other store. So what I want to say, because this is a brand where the investment would come around 20 to 25 lakh rupees. What is the area requirement? It's 200 to 300 square feet. It's a quick service restaurant. If I'm talking about the bagel stain, gravy chicken, or I can say as a Frank hot dog, all three brands are called as the QSR, quick service model, where you are not dependent upon the chef. All the thing will be done by us. It's a assembly and then we do. So if you talked about any brand which is an investment of 20 to 25 lakh rupees, and where you have a 2 different types of bread, you have a maybe more than 30 different types of sauces, I can say as a Frank order. It's the best brand, you can take it. The investment is 20 to 25 lakh rupees, and then there is a royalty which is depending upon the city. If someone will take a tier 1 city, then we can charge 6% or 25,000 rupees. If someone will take a tier 2 and tier 3 city, then 6%. Currently, I can say this is one of the great, only some selected territories are available as an area developer. The territory which is sold as an area developer, I can say Mumbai region is completely sold. Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, and the Delhi, NCR, and the Gujarat are the master franchisee rights are sold. Other territories are available. Someone would say, I want to take a Punjab and Chandigarh Tri-City. I want to go with a Rajasthan, or I want to start something in West Bengal or maybe a Northeast. So such territory rights are available with us for this particular. So if someone wants to become my territory partner, so we are also giving the exclusive area developer rights so that we can work together and create a sub franchisee under their region. So this is the third brand again, guys. Again, I want to say ki all three brand. If Bagel Stand already live, Frank already live, you can go, you can taste the product, then you can take the call. I can say one of the great quality of the products are available. Being an international brand, they always believe in the quality. And being a franchise India, we always believe in the support system. If you're supporting to our franchisee partner, then the, the brand will success. If you think that you can take the brand and then the franchise India is not supporting, that is not possible. Because for us, your success play a very important role rather than the brand success. And that is the reason every step, the franchise India team and the brand team will involve with you during the operation part. Now, the fourth brand I can say is a 7 fries breast from the Oman. I want to tell you about this specialty of this brand. It's the freshly prepared fries. Not a single brand in the market is available. All are giving the frozen concept. and they have a different types of sauces. Now the beauty of these seven fries, we have already coming in Delhi, which is an NSP Pacific Mall. We will live in the month of before 10th of August. The beauty of this seven fries, the Oman based company, already running 50 plus store in Oman, UAE, you can say as the Iraq or maybe the other part of the country. In Indian market, again, the franchise India is the master franchise. If someone would say, I want to start something in a fries plus mocktail laminates, I can tell you this is the brand where you can invest. 20 to 30 lakh rupees is the budget. And we have a two model. Again, one is called as the takeaway model, other is called as the standalone model. So for the takeaway model, the investment would come around 20 say 22 lakh rupees, and for the standalone model, the investment would come around 28 to 30 lakh rupees. In both the model, there is nothing change. It's only the difference in the sitting arrangement. And I can tell you because I tasted this product, this is one of the greatest product. And while you eating the fries, everyone have a one thought, yeah, कहीं मुझे burp या heaviness तो नहीं feel होगी. In this brand, you will not feel such thing. You can eat n number of times. You are becoming the fan. Okay, I want to order again and again, again and again. It's again a quick service restaurant. So that is the beauty of the seven fries. We are opening our first store in Delhi. You can come, you can taste. And I want to tell you, not a single category is available in a fresh franchise fries concept. All are giving the frozen concept. And you know what is the frozen concept, how they are healthy or unhealthy. So if I am in your place, you say here I want to start something in fries, which is a freshly prepared fries. We have a veg, non-veg, both options are available. If someone would say I want to do a pure veg, we are ready to do it. If someone would say I want to do veg and non-veg, both options. Even the spices, which is play very important role, is again coming from the Oman. So we are bringing all the item, including the fries, the sauces, or if you saw the we can say the spices or the packaging material, all are coming from the one. That is the brand. Matlab, if I want to say here, I want to start something in 20 to 30 lakh rupees as a cafe model where I will not dependent upon the manpower. This is the brand where all the things are prepared in front of the customer. There will be no frozen concept in the price. Can I go through the last brand, Bharat?
Yes, please.
The fifth brand is called as the Chowwalk Express, guys. It is a noodle bar concept from the UK, United Kingdom, already running 25 plus store. The beauty of this brand is called as a Chinese, and it's a noodle bar basically. So we have a Chinese concept, but running in UK, you can go to London, Scotland, Edinburgh, a different part of the city in the UK. You can see this brand. Again, the franchise India is the master franchise. This brand entered into the to Indian market and the Southeast Asia market to franchise India in the month of May 2025. Now we are actively looking the franchisee partner into the various part of the city. The investment for this model, I can say maybe a 35 to 50 lakh rupees depending upon the model. If you want to start something in takeaway model, the investment would come around 35 to 40 lakh rupees. The area will require 200 to 500 square feet. If someone would say, I want to start something maybe on a high street where the people can come, they can sit, the area requirement will be 500 to 800 square feet. So whatever the area I discuss, it's a carpet area. I'm not talking about the super built up area. I'm talking about the carpet area where the people can we can work out on that way. So in this, again, the franchisee fees which we are charging is very nominal. We are charging 30,000 or the 5% which goes into the brand. 5 year is the agreement period. The beauty of this brand, we have a three concepts: small, medium, large, and within 4 minutes we can deliver the product to the customer. Someone can open to a mall, IT, college, or we can go with a high street. This brand is perfectly fine, and you can taste the product. But if someone is living in UK or any other part of the world, you can ask them, can you go and taste the product? And then you can see what quality we are giving. So these five brands we are completing right now. If you want to discuss more in detail how I want to take the master franchisee or the area developer right, or you want to take some unit franchisee for this brand, you can directly reach to me. You can also reach to the Franchise India team. Then we can discuss in detail how the things would work from your side, how the Franchise India or the brand team will work, and then you can take the call. But I want to say this: all five brands are entering into the market. Some are already take the master franchisee. First mover advantages always play very important. If I am in a place I want to take Punjab and Chandigarh, can I take some brand? Yes. First mover advantage and backend support is 100% taken care by the brand and the franchising.
Right.
Thanks guys for listening.
Right. Thank you so much, Rahul, for the detailed presentation. I think in case if anyone would like to go with any of these brands that we just saw, you can connect with Rahul Sharma directly. Rahul, in case if you could also share your number in the chat box. And Apart from that, I already have shared the centralized number, which is 9717683838. Or you can also write to us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. I know it's been just 45 minutes of time today, but yes, opportunities are immense. I mean, all these international brands, some of them have already been started, have already sold the area franchise developing area franchise, by the way. But even in case if you would like to go for the single unit franchise, we are still open for that. So in that case, you can get in touch with Rahul directly, or you may also connect to us on our email ID or the number, centralized number. Harmandeep is also, take care of the Chandigarh, Punjab region. So even in case if you would like to, get in touch with him, if you are from that particular area, you can connect to him directly right after this webinar. So I think that's it for the day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Next week, again, we will join at 11 o'clock in the morning with another set of brands right at 11 o'clock, right?